Antelopes. I dread to think what might have happened if you hadn't got them into quarantine as quickly as you did. Fast thinking there. We had a horrible outbreak of viral gastroenteritis here at Goodwin House. Although, luckily, that was just limited to me and my wife.
Right. Now that we've got all our urgent tasks in hand, we can start to focus on the guests and improving their time in the park. You see, you can also do research into new and improved guest facilities, transport rides, as well as new types of barrier and other things via the workshop. I've highlighted the workshop for you. So head over there, select it, and then choose View Workshop. And finally, assign a mechanic to research souvenir shops. I can't wait to see the next big innovation in zoo merchandise. Great stuff. That research will take a little while, so let's have a look at something else in the meantime. Because we've had some good news. It turns out that we're allowed to adopt more giant pandas. The authorities have given us 3 females to help with our breeding program. Even so, I'm sure you know how notoriously difficult it is to get pandas to breed, so we'll have to be patient. Our current giant panda habitat is full to the brim, but luckily we've already got another habitat ready to go. But before we move our new pandas in, they'll need to go through quarantine. Of course, we can't do that until we've accepted them. So open up animal trading and go into the animal reward section. Just choose Transfer to Animal Storage next to each of the pandas and they'll be sent there. Finally, we can send them from animal storage to quarantine. To do that, just select them in animal storage, then send to zoo. Then choose the zoo's quarantine facility. Don't worry, I've highlighted it for you so you can find it easily. While we wait for them to clear quarantine, you should set up their new habitat so they feel at home in there. I'll also need you to bring over one of the male pandas from our other habitat, because without him, we're not going to have much of a breeding program, are we? So go on, move him over and get everything set up for your pandas. While we wait for them to clear quarantine, you should set up their new habitat so they feel at home in there. I'll also need you to bring over one of the male pandas from our other habitat, because without him, we're not going to have much of a breeding program, are we? So go on, move him over and get everything set up for your pandas. While we wait for them to clear quarantine, you should set up their new habitat so they feel at home in there. I'll also need you to bring over one of the male pandas from our other habitat, because without him, we're not going to have much of a breeding program, are we? So go on, move him over and get everything set up for your pandas. Oh, bless. I think they'll be really happy in there. Fingers crossed we'll see some lovely new cubs sooner rather than later. Right, while they're being delivered, we'd better get on with something else, eh? Dear me, there's never any time to rest when you're running a zoo, is there? Well, unless you hit pause. Okay, I think it's time I taught you all about work zones. I know, they don't sound as interesting as the animals, but trust me, they're ever so useful. You see, work zones are a way of making sure that your staff concentrate on specific habitats or tasks within the zoo, so they aren't wandering off elsewhere when it's time to feed the animals or the like. So, let's start by creating a new work zone and then assigning a keeper to it so they know to look after the new pandas. To do that, go into the Access menu, then Zoo Management, then head into the Staff Overview tab and choose Work Zones. Then, select your new keeper to bring up their information panel and go to their Employment tab. You can assign them to your new work zone from the drop-down menu. Now choose New Work Zone. To set up your new work zone, I'll need you to select the highlighted habitat gate, staff room and keeper hut. Oh, and don't forget to name it something useful. Once you're done, just go ahead and exit the work zone creator. Now let's hire a new keeper and assign them to our new work zone. We don't want them getting distracted by other goings-on in the zoo. Go on, hire one. Now that we've got our lovely new Just a Memento shop designed, you should build one of them near the zoo's exit. That way the guests won't miss it on their way out and we won't miss out on their money.